everyone, this is Maggie and welcome to another YouTube video. This video is going to be a little different. I'm going to still have a speed paint and some chatting for you guys to watch, but I figured I might as well just do the whole intro with like little PNG tubers. I made a few new ones and I wanted to just try them out. Okay, so you read the title. Happy Pride Month! I hope everyone's been having a great month, celebrating who you are, who you identify with, the people you love. Be sure to wish your local gay cousin a happy Pride Month. I promise they will appreciate it. And if you can, support your local Pride Parade and your friends. So again, for Pride Month, I wanted to make a little video and just make a little spread with some of my OCs celebrating Pride. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was never really good at making Pride art, but we're gonna try it, you and me together, and we're gonna get through this together. So before we begin, I just want to tell you guys that I am forever grateful. I am going to get my first YouTube check in June. I never thought I would be able to like do this, especially so soon after starting. But I just want to say thank you so much. And without getting too sappy, there's gonna be a video about that, hopefully later this month. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna be decorating 2 pages because I honestly thought I would be drawing more, but I ended up only filling 1 spread. We're just gonna be filling the page on the left with doodles, and the page on the right I'm actually gonna be leaving empty for later notes for the voiceover that I'm actually doing on this video. So obviously we're gonna be drawing Steve and Gary because I'm still pathetic. I'm still balls deep into their relationship. I mean, they're so cute, they're so goofy. When I said in the intro that I wasn't very good at drawing Pride art, like I don't mean that in like a disrespectful way. I genuinely don't really know what to draw. I do try to get hyped and see when I see people drawing their OCs or their sonas with their Pride flags or going on a Pride parade. My inability to kind of draw Pride stuff kind of comes from my own experience with it. I've never like celebrated it. I do have a flag in my room, but I never really had like a big experience celebrating Pride. I figured out the labels that I liked with myself and I kind of just went for it. Regardless of my feelings on Pride. Steve and Gary, look at them, they're so cute, they're so baby. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Gary is transmasc, he's a demi boy, and he is gay, he likes guys. And Steve is demisexual panromantic, and he's a cis man. Obviously for this video, I'm gonna mostly be talking about Gary, because like, if some of you haven't figured out yet, Steve isn't like my OC, they are from my good friend Dr. Angel. I just kind of have like stepmom custody over him, since I draw him so often, with their permission of course. So I'm just gonna mostly be talking about Gary, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So Gary's relationship with Pride was always a little weird. Gary was born a girl, he was born in Portugal, and during the time that he was born, the country was just coming out of a dictatorship, so there was no queer people, there was no LGBT, there was like nothing. But he always knew that he never quite fit into the body that he was born in. He wasn't very like distraught about it. It was just one of those things that he, as a girl, he really liked to do boy things, I guess. Play around in the mud and go frolicking in the fields. But he always assumed that he was just kinda into what boys were into and not so much that he would want to be a boy later on in life. So, as Gary got older, he decided that he wanted to travel the world, to get out of that little corner of the country and just go see what else the world had to offer. So, when he was younger, he traveled to places like Japan and Korea, and in there he found much more open cultures and alternative styles and people and minorities. And I think that was like a very good time for him. It was extremely excruciating when it came to finding work and keeping a job, learning cultural stuff and who he wanted to be in life, and open place to experiment with. I think he had a very good time in those places. That's also where he got the first ideas of like surgeries to change one's appearance, medical processes to change how you wanted to present yourself. I am aware that Japan and Korea are like very big places for plastic surgery. They're like the leading places in the world. So when I figured that out and started to realize, oh, Gary would have probably went there and started to discover all these things through them, I think it was like a really funny thing. And it just really fit his character and how he wanted to present himself. And he did spend a lot of time there. He was living in Korea and Japan up until his 30s. And then he eventually kind of disappeared from the face of the earth. and reappeared in the US with his own TV company. And the kid, he would pass really well as a cis man, despite being very proud of himself and very like secure of his own image. Since he does pass as a cis man fairly well, one like still very much queer, but he does pass as a cis man, he does keep his transgender self a secret from the world. He does try to keep it to himself and pass as a cis man because he does realize that nowadays it can be very dangerous, unfortunately, that he could lose his job if people find that he's transgender and people just start being super stupid about it. One of the first people he actually comes out to being transgender is his son, Ben. There is this whole reoccurring joke that Ben tells people that, oh, he lost a mother, but he has a dad now. So a lot of people actually think Gary is like a straight white cis man and that he married some lady and then she died and that's why Ben doesn't have a mother, and Gary like hates that Ben is spreading around those rumors because he lost a mom because Gary transitioned. He doesn't have a mom anymore, now he has a dad. That's all there is to it. And it's so fucking stupid, but it's so silly. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Ben was like the first person who Gary ever like came out to, and he was pretty fine about it, you know, just kids nowadays are more open. I guess it's the access to like the internet and stuff like that. But Ben was very chill about it. And the second person he opened up to was Steve. Eventually Steve figured out by himself because, you know, they had the snoo. I don't know how much I can say about this on YouTube. But yeah, they had relationships. He never like said anything about it because he was like, oh, okay, I don't care, that's my boyfriend. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Gary. I'm not sure how to word this, but like I'm happy to say that like Gary doesn't have that resentment that I see a lot of trans people have for like their younger self before transitioning, if they ever transition. Again, like I'm not trans, I cannot speak for people who experience this. It's so complicated because like I have no experience in it, but even I, in the ways that I have changed, like with my own gender, like for example, I was born a girl and I identify as a demigirl. I don't particularly consider myself to be in the transgender group, even though people have said like, oh, to be transgender, you just need to not identify with the gender you were born at birth. So if you are a demigirl and you see yourself as a demigirl, then you are transgender. And I was like, that's fine. It was always like a label I never put on myself because I was like, oh, I didn't have gender dysmorphia. I didn't have like nights staying up thinking about my body, or like I don't know, I don't know the transgender experience, so I guess I wouldn't know if I've even been through it. But yeah, like personally I am a demigirl, but I don't like group myself with transgender people just because from my own experience and comparing it to other people's experience, I just don't think I've been through that kind of stuff. But I'm fine with it, like it's my own gender, I don't care. I'm fine with it. And again, looping the conversation back around to Gary, I think Gary would be okay like looking at younger pictures of himself and stuff like that because like he did enjoy his childhood. He enjoyed being a girl and doing girly things and sometimes like escaping the stereotype in the same breath that he now sees, oh, I could tell that I was a boy when I was younger. He can be very healthy about it. Like he can look at pictures of himself when he was younger and he can talk about it openly with people he trusts, of course. He is like very, I think he like looks at his younger self and he cares a lot about her. Like he's just very protective of that tiny child who was discovering the world and herself. He's just very protective of her, but he's not ashamed of her either. I got like way too emotional and deep out of nowhere. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it was just like a very important part of Gary's identity of himself that I don't get to talk about often. And you know, it's Pride Month, so might as well talk about it now. And that's pretty much it for like Pride stuff. I don't have any more things to say, at least not that I can remember, so I'm just gonna like rapid fire through some other stuff just to, you know, make the video a little longer. Deltarune's coming out today, chapters 3 and 4. How are we feeling? Jesus Christ, wow, it's been like 3 to 4 years. Damn, I have friends who used to like dream about this day, like, oh, Deltarune tomorrow, like the whole meme a few months ago. Oh, I'm so hyped. I'm excited. I think it's gonna help the fandom move forward a lot, and it's gonna help me move forward a lot as well. Like I have been stuck in the deltarune phase for like, again, these last 3 to 4 years, and it's fun, but I think I've got everything I've wanted out of it. Like, I have OCs, I have a whole world, I have like entire profiles and websites and wiki pages built of my characters, and this is the first time I've ever done this. I've never like had a wiki page or a profile, like a hub for my projects. And again, if you would like to see any of that, go to maggieoutthere.neocities.org. There's a bunch of OC stuff there you might want to check out. But yeah, I'm just excited to see how the chapter is gonna be. At the time of recording this voiceover, I have seen some streams starting of like waiting for the countdown or the waiting room until the chapters drop. I'm very excited to see what comes out. So I'm gonna take the day to just record this voiceover. I'm gonna edit everything together because I've had this drawing that you're seeing on the back recorded since like June 1st, and like I need to get this out of the way just so I can like keep making YouTube money. You know, it is the YouTube pipeline. But yeah, I'm gonna get this recorded, I'm gonna get this done, and I will see you guys later. Bye! And that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share the video, blah blah blah, YouTube words. If you would like to follow me on other social medias, these are the ones that I'm on right now the most often. And if you would like to take a look at my characters, my art, or if you'd just like to get in contact with me, I do have my own website. Go over to maggieoutthere.neocities.org to see what projects I've been working on, my deltarune stuff, my own original characters, Steve and Gary are in there. And because I keep forgetting to mention this, we have a Discord server now. The link to join will be in the description. We have lots of fun there. Mostly we've been talking about deltarune because, again, deltarune today. But we do have other stuff. I did talk about my OCs a lot. I do talk about other fandoms that I'm in and that I've been archiving stuff. Lately, I've been having a lot of fun archiving my Bendy and the Ink Machine OCs. Yeah, remember that game? Wow! They have their own hub now, their own website. It's gonna be lots of fun, and it would mean the world if you could check it out. So link to join the Discord will be in the description, and I hope to see you there. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!